Hi all, Archana here. In my free time, I usually try to Google and try to get some knowledge of. Sometimes when I have time, when I find time, I just try to Google. And this time, I was just typing about unsolved cases. So then I saw so many cases are there, but then I found this one to be quite interesting. And when I was reading, I was just like, got involved in the story. I thought I will share with you all, and maybe after hearing to this, you also might go and just whenever you find time, you can just Google and find out. It's all about a man who in US on Jan 2nd in the year 1935, he checked into a hotel, President Hotel, uh, at about 1:20 p.m. So his name is Roland T. Owen. He checked into President Hotel in the same name. When he checked into the hotel, he had no luggage in his hands. So he just checked in with a comb and a toothbrush. So he had no luggage. So these people in the reception, in what they thought was that was very awkward for them. This man has checked into hotel, but he has not carried any luggage along. So they thought, okay, let's not get into detail. And he said he want an interior hotel room, wherein interior room in sense wherein the windows of the room is not faced to the across the street. So then they put him into a room number 1046 on the 10th floor. He as he was getting, usually like when we check into hotel, this bellboy will come and show us the room the same way they took him to the room. And on the way, he told how the neighboring hotels, how expensive they are, very outrageous. Then he went to the room, he checked into the room. uh, next day next day morning, maid came, who will make the bed every day. They try to change, so a maid came to make the bed. Her name is Soptic, Mary Soptic. So this girl who came to make the room, she got into the room, she cleaned the room. There she found where it was very weird that she saw that all the windows were closed with the blinds, and only one lamp which is beside his bed was you know lighted in a dim with a dim light. And she found very awkward. And but then she could not even react, she just cleaned the room. And when she cleaned the room, she just saw a note beside the table of the cot. It had written, Dawn, I will be back in 15 minutes. Wait. So this was a note left on the table. So she just read that note which was lying on the table, but she managed to clean and she went. When she was going, uh, Mr. Owen told this maid not to shut the door and leave the door open, and he's waiting for somebody and they will arrive shortly. So she just went away, leaving the door open, and Mr. Owen was in his room. So this happened. The next day morning, again, Mary Soptic came to make the bed. This time she saw the door was closed. It was locked, and it was locked from outside. So she thought, okay, this man, Mr. Owen, is not in the room, so he has locked it. And with the master key, usually this maids will have, when they come to make the room, they have master key. So with the master key, she opened the door. When she opened the door, it for her surprise, Mr. Owen was in the room, sitting in the dark. And of course, he did not bring any clothes, so he was with his coat on. And it was very peculiar for her, and she was little afraid. But she did not, she just tried to clean the room fast, and she wanted to come out. So when she was cleaning the room, Mr. Owen got a call. So he picked up the call and he said, he just told, no, he just responded to the call saying, I'm not hungry. I already had my breakfast. No, I'm not hungry. So after he cut the call, he started a conversation with the maid, Mary Soptic, and he told how again he just inquired about her and her job and about the hotel. So she never disclosed anything about himself, but he just asked her about the hotel and about her job. And again, he discussed about the how the neighboring hotels, how expensive they are, how outrageous. Then she just wanted to come out, and she just after cleaning up, she just came out. Then after some time, after 4 hours, she just again got in. She knocked the door because she had to change the towels. She had already picked up the towels from inside, but she forgot to place it. So she had to replace it. So she came, and when she knocked the door, she could hear two people were talking, and the two with high voice. So she did not want to, and she heard a voice from inside, and they asked her, "What do you want?" So she said, "I have come to replace the towel." So the man with the high voice, it was not Mr. Owen, it was the other person's voice. So that man came and he said, and he did not. He said, "We do not want any. We already have." So she did not want to bother with this sensitive matter, and it is their personal, so she just went away. But then what happened was, it was not, but she understood that there is no towel because she was the one who picked up the towel from inside, but she did not replace it, but she did not want to disturb. Then after a while, after next sometime, this telephone operator, that is from the reception, she called a bellboy saying that the same number, same from the room 1046, they somebody has, you know, put the receiver down off the phone, and you have to go hook it up. So this bellboy went and knocked the door. Mr. Owen was awake and he told, "Yeah, please come in." So he said he came and he saw the receiver was on the lying on the table. So he told, hook up the phone back, as when they have to communicate with the person, Mr. Owen, it will be easier for them. So he hooked the phone up and then he went away. Then again after maybe 1.5 hours, again this bellboy received a call again from the reception saying that again the phone is, it is same problem. The receiver is down, just go hook it up. This time, uh, the bellboy went with his master key. He opened, and that time Mr. Owen was just lying on the bed. He was just lying on the bed, and this bellboy did not bother to talk to him. He thought Mr. Owen is drunk and he is lying down, so he just hooked up the phone and he went away. So this happened again for the third time. Again after an hour or so, again this bellboy got a call from the of front office, from the reception, saying that again from room 1046, the phone is not hooked up, so you will have to, receiver is lying on the table, so just go put back the receiver. So for his surprise, when he opened the door, he saw Mr. Owen was bleeding, and he was just, a corner of the room with his head wounded, and he was beaten multiple, stab, and he was wounded, and the whole bed and the bed sheet was blood stained, and even the walls were with full of blood stain. So then he just saw, and he just rushed out of the room, and he went to and called the police. And when the police came for the investigation, they asked Mr. Owen how this happened, and Mr. Owen did not reply anything as he was totally wounded. His head also was injured. Then he told, "No, nobody. I just hit to the bathtub and fell." And the police investigated more on this, saying that, "Did you try to suicide?" He said, "No, I did not." And but then this Mr. Owen went to unconscious. He went into coma, and they took him to the hospital. The same day, early morning, next day early morning, Mr. Owen passed away. So the police had investigated more on Mr. Owen, on from where is he, who is he, where has he come from, and with the records given, he had given that he's from Los Angeles, Mr. Roland T. Owen. And when they investigated from the local people, they did not find any clue on this, and they did not find any name, any person in this name. So finally, they we the previous day before getting into President Hotel, checking into President, he had stayed for a day in a neighboring hotel with a different name. So this came up to the after the investigation, but the police could not find from where is he. They were not able to investigate, and they were also not able to make out who killed him. So finally, at the end, the police officers decided to bury him. So on the day of his burial, uh, a person, a bouquet with a donation just came up to the his burial, saying that this is the cost to cover up his burial. So, but and it just came to his burial, and then don't know who has sent it, and with a letter saying that love forever, Lucy. So this is the end of Mr. Owen, Roland T. Owen. But the investigation, the US police still could not find out who is this person, and they could not even able to. It's been very mysterious, and they could not even able to find out who the murderer is. So this is very mysterious. I also found very interesting when I read this story. So I thought if it could be interesting, and if you all also would like to, you can always Google and see it about Mr. Owen. It is room number 1046. This was the story of Mr. Owen. I hope you guys also enjoyed hearing to this mysterious story. Thanks for watching. Please share and subscribe. Thank you.